This is Eugene from Brooklyn going back to China. Appreciate the China short FXI. Thoughts on KWeb, or are the signals there more bullish? I don't know if you've looked at KWeb.
Yeah, I look at it. FXI is clearly my favorite, or I would have said otherwise.
Yep.
The thing with KWeb, and that's more consumer internet oriented. Just one thing, and again, Macro Pro subscribers. I know a lot of people are on a budget and everything like that. I've been on a budget my whole life, and if you have 4 kids, you're definitely gonna have a budget. Laura and I go through the budget every year. It doesn't matter how much money you have or you don't have, you should have a budget. Something you should think about. But when you think about like, what's in this 100-slide deck is the enlightenment that I'm talking about. It's not dogma, right? If you just take the time to read that deck, every word, every page, and then when you go to the next themes deck 3 months later when we're refreshing it, there's going to be some more education. I'm educating myself all the time with the team on this. One of the great educations on this, for example, is if you look at slides on China versus Germany on slide 22. So this is in the process part of the deck. And when you look at the process part of the deck, there's 2 different things that you should be paying attention to here. So the black bars, which again, how we show this is, of course, our intellectual property, and we built this. So you can't backtest the quads unless you invented the quads, right? So that's an important thing. So when you look at, you got 2 things. You got the German government bond yield. So the German government bond yield, I circle that in red because German bonds go down when the yield goes up. There's only one quad where the expected value of the yield is up, quad 2. Bingo, nailed that. Nailed it. I think the German 10-year yield could go positive, by the way. It's minus 20 basis points. It can go to plus 20 basis points, like in the next 6 weeks, okay? So there's something there. You asked the question on Chinese consumer stocks, or something like that. KWeb's got some consumer stocks. Now, this is interesting too, but not surprising. And you can call me cocky, you can call me arrogant, or you can just call me humble enough to just accept it. I think there's a big difference, actually. I like to talk about success. Just like a professional golfer, if he shoots 8 under, he's like, I made a lot of good birdie putts. I hit the ball extremely well today. Is it okay to say it that way? Absolutely. Why not? Why not? So there's one quad where the China consumer doesn't do well. Quad 3. What's happened in quad 3? China's in quad 3. We started the show with that. We'll end with that. Major hedge fund guy was long a lot of China stuff, consumer internet exposure, as we were entering quad 3. Remember that? That was a big part of why China started to break down, because he puked big time. Bill Huang. Bill should have done this. Now, Bill might say, I think Bill's probably, if you've made a lot of money in this business, you probably want to know that. It's not about being a good guy, bad guy, mean guy, polite guy. It's about being an aware guy and gal, okay? That's the most important point. These quads and what they do in each quad is a critical realization that actually, for me, I'm constantly obviously evolving the process alongside the team, but for me, it creates a level of an awareness that gives me a confidence that might look a certain way that's real, right? How do you feel when you know something that if you go into a room and you go to a party, Jonesy Buds and I go to some parties. So let's say we walked into a room in Nashville with a bunch of hockey parents. And actually we did. Here's a true story. Bitcoin was getting spanked, I think it was last Friday, when you go to a bar. So a guy walks into a bar with his buddy, and everybody's talking about Bitcoin. But all you have to do is listen for a little bit, and you realize people have no fucking idea what they're talking about. Do you feel unconfident when that happens? Should you look meek? No, actually, I buy everybody a drink and explain what the hell's going on. Yeah, that's life, right? It's okay. It's okay to be yourself. It's okay to have your own process. It's okay to teach people your process and have them use it in ways that are far more creative than I could have ever imagined. And thank you for all of your doing of that, because that's a real special thing that Jonesy and I and the entire team really appreciate, is that you've spent a lot of time incorporating what we're doing into what you do, and that's awesome. There's no better compliment. By the way, today, at some point today or into the weekend, we're gonna give away 10 Macro Pro subscriptions. You know what those are worth? 10, and we'll give you the parameters on Twitter on how to win one of those, or however how to be it's not a donation or anything. We're just thankful for having a great month, or one of our best months ever. And like Jonesy said, we're thankful for the audience and Hedgeye Nation, and we want to make sure more people know more about this process, and that's the best way to do it, through that subscription. So we're going to give 10 of those away.